What is going on, my friends? I hope you're doing well. I am. After finishing this game, I think it is quite good, and I think you will like it too. So I wanted to come and talk to you guys about this because I really enjoyed this game. A lot more than I thought I was going to before, and even midway through the game. So let's talk about it. Right off the bat, it is super obvious that Capcom have done everything they can to make this game gorgeous. It is fantastic to look at and just oozes detail and love for the world because you can just walk around this world and see sights that you don't really see in other video games because they have done some really unique things with the environment. At one point, I likened it to a Alice in Wonderland story theme, but with like a science fiction twist. And honestly, just seeing the next area or seeing the next unique enemy was enough to just propel me through this game. But thankfully, that wasn't all that was here. There was also a fantastic story to latch onto and to just keep me engaged the entire time. And the entire story also hinges around the fact that the central characters are very likable and very relatable in a lot of cases, even if one of them is completely AI. Our main man, Hugh, is sent to the space station here. I'm going to be vague with names, places, and things for the most part because I don't want to spoil anything, if even on accident. So, when Hugh, our main man, gets to the space station for a repair job with a bunch of his buddies, things go very wrong. He is left all alone and finds Diana, who is an AI and has her own quirks about her, mainly that she has had no real interaction with people and has just kind of had to learn things on her own. So, being around Hugh is a very interesting learning experience. It's interesting to watch her learn how to interact with things and how to play with things and how to act like a person through Hugh's eyes and his experiences, growing up and being a child at one point. I love their dynamic, and it was a joy to see them go through the story in here because there is an overall plot. It isn't just them going to fix the thing and then just their adventures on the way. There is things going on, and those things are very interesting, including what they do with the various bots in the game, what the ultimate goal of the bad guy is in this, and ultimately where it ended up. I did find it to be very satisfying, especially in the way that when you finish this game, there is an extra mode called Unknown Signal. It kind of serves as an end game with some extra challenges that obviously bring the challenge, but also bring in just different variants of some bosses that you fought through the story. And I'm really happy that there was something there because the overall package isn't all that large. It isn't the longest game, but I don't really think that's to its detriment because the game really is pretty meaty in like its balance of visuals, the fun gameplay, the story, the characters. There is a lot of different ways you can build out Hugh in this game to go through the story. It has high replayability in the fact that weapons can all be upgraded, repeating some areas to grind what you need to upgrade those weapons. But the main change in this game compared to anything else, the third person shooter game, is kind of flipped on its head here because you have Diana with you. And with Diana, you can have her be hacking into things, or rather, you must have her hack into things before you can really lay into them. Basically, hacking into them and opening them up for damage. And I mean that literally, as every one of the bots, even in their little model viewer, can be viewed opening up different ways with this amazing level of detail. But the hacks that she can use vary widely and can be used in a bunch of different combinations to get a bunch of different results. One of my favorite is the combination of a hack that spreads a single hack to multiple enemies, another one that leaves enemies confused, and another one that just kind of knocks them on their ass and leaves them weakened and ready for damage. If you pass through all three of these nodes at once, you will get all three of those effects on all of the bots that are in the close vicinity that spreads to, and that leads to some pretty big damage and some big chaos. It's just one good example of what you can do here, especially when later you get some pretty wild hacks to use in the post game. So do look forward to that, and know that even if it feels a little bit simple in the beginning, it will eventually kind of show its hand. And that time comes, a few hours in, a little later than I think it probably should, but it is coming, and it is a little more than it seems at first. And this being kind of open, kind of linear, it's like area to area, it does have a kind of side quest system where you can go off and look for a bunch of different things, but you're mostly looking to upgrade your little main base that you want to upgrade throughout the campaign. It's like a little hideout. And throughout this little hideout, you can find mementos for Diana that you place here that will be, built by the printer in the ship that she can then experience just like a child.
It's like a box. I wonder what it plays.
And most importantly, collecting coins for your buddy Cabin. Now, Cabin is very important because he supplies you with a bunch of different challenges that I think about half of them are pretty fun. The other half are pretty frustrating if you're trying to get, all the points. But they can also award you tons of upgrade materials and tons of different outfits even to change up the look of Hugh and Diana, all for free and coming in the package. I say that because we don't get very many free outfits these days. I'm not going to say there's not. There are not any outfits that can be bought. There's a couple, but having a couple specials, but a bunch more in game, I'm totally fine with. And when it comes to customization, when it comes to the character, when it comes to the gameplay, and when it comes to the drip. So, I thought it was a pretty darn good time overall. I do think it's got some flaws, mainly the kind of loop of destroying robots. I think for some can probably grind on their nerves a little bit at first, and maybe even a little later as they have longer and longer sequences to hack into with bigger and tougher enemies in the end game. So it kind of remains to be seen how you feel about it halfway through, even though I do think the beginning is the most tedious part when you don't have a lot of hacks to experiment with. There is a lot of you have to hack this thing before you damage it in this game, and if you're not kind of cool with that little loop the whole time and using that in succession with itself, constantly with every enemy, but just with variation in it, then this may not be for you. If you are sensitive to overly sweet and overly positive things, like if you want to be a little emo kid about everything, this game might actually irritate you because Hugh and Diana don't have any friction as characters. They will never bicker at each other. They will never really disagree on anything in any big way. There's never really that plot point where they really struggle, with the exception of one that isn't really on either of them emotionally. I would have liked to see their relationship be stretched a little bit and kind of tested a little more, but overall, I think we still got a pretty good payoff and a pretty good relationship to root for, and what I think is a fantastic new IP for Capcom. Man, they have really been on a tear lately. Someone give everyone at Capcom a raise because they are single-handedly propping up the video game seasons around here. So, what do y'all think about Pragmata? Did you like it as much as I did? Did you think it was pretty mid? Did you enjoy all the dad space memes? I know I did. I thought they were freaking hilarious. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk about it. Leave the video a like if you would like to see more from me. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you would like to hear more from me. I post a lot of different things about a lot of different games coming out. I don't always get them out right when them games come out because there is a lot going on in the video game world. but I do my best to get as much stuff out there and cover the games that I really, really feel I want to share with everyone out there, at least eventually, even if it takes me a minute. So, if you're down to hang around and listen to me talk about some things and even join the conversation, stick around. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.